Fight fans? So, I want to ask you guys something. Do you think that Canelo Alvarez is overrated? My personal opinion is no. No, he is not. And I will tell you why. Because the guy has literally fought everybody there is to fight. And he fought them when he was supposed to fight them. Sure, did he wait just a little bit longer for Triple G? Yeah, just a little bit for that first fight. A lot of people like to say, oh, well, he waited 5 years or 4 years or whatever it is. He didn't wait that long. One, because he was always a 154 pounder. Now, could he have done what some other fighters have done? Go up that weight class right away, not go challenges, not take challenges, not let your body slowly, gradually get there. No, he could have, yeah, sure, he could have went from 154 to 160, damn, overnight, boom, and which is what he did, and challenged the best fighter in the world. But no, you don't do that. Some fighters do, other fighters don't. Some play it safe, some play it right away. I know Roy Jones went up there and fought John Ruiz from light heavyweight to heavyweight. You know, I know Floyd Mayweather went up to from welterweight to junior middleweight to fight Oscar De La Hoya. So there have been times where people have done that. There's even times where people skip the division. I think Adrian Broner went from 135 to 147 to fight Paulie Malignaggi. So, you know, it happens. It does happen. But then some people don't do that. Oscar De La Hoya went in there against a middleweight, Felix Sturm. Did look crappy, but he did end up getting the victory and win against Bernard Hopkins. So it's one thing to if Canelo went in there and beat a middleweight champion, which it just so happens Miguel Cotto was a middleweight champion, and that's it. Call it a day. Like, oh, why do I gotta fight that guy? But he did, and he fought him twice. Now, did it ended a very controversial draw in the first one? Absolutely. Do a lot of us feel that Triple G should have got that nod? Absolutely. But they had a rematch. What happened? Canelo right away went in there and got a rematch. He did not go and take a different tune-up fight. He did not go in there and go back down the division. He went in there against Triple G again. So, and was it very close? Absolutely. It could have gone either way? Absolutely. You got Triple G backing up majority of the fight, then decided to turn it on. But it went to Canelo Alvarez. Now, did he wait longer to give Triple G that rematch? Sure, you could actually say that, but maybe that's where Canelo Alvarez is like, you know what? I want to try something else. I want to try something else, because eventually when you continue to fight the same opponent over and over and over again, it does get kind of stale and it does get kind of boring, and you don't have that same motivation that you would have in that first fight or maybe even the second fight. So, of course, he did want to go do other things. He did want to go move on with his career for a little bit. That's his choice. That's his choice, so you can't knock him for that. But he still went in there and got Triple G again. So that's one reason. Two, he fought a lot of fighters. The perfect example I like to say is Erislandy Lara, who wasn't really a champ, who really wasn't on that pound for pound status, who really wasn't highly ranked. But he called Canelo out, and Canelo went after him. Erislandy Lara was a very, very dangerous opponent. And a lot of people felt like he could have lost that fight. Some people even feel like he did lose that fight. But nonetheless, Canelo Alvarez got the nod. And the fact of the matter is he went in there and fought him. Then at 168, he went in there and got the undisputed championship. So basically, before I get into even more, guys, he went in there and fought Sergey Kovalev at light heavyweight. Now, yes, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Sergey Kovalev was past his prime a little bit. Just a little bit, because he came off 2 losses. One very close decision loss to Andre Ward and a very controversial stoppage to Andre Ward. He wasn't dominated. He wasn't destroyed. He wasn't beaten to he wasn't a shell of his former self. He still was a really tough fighter to face. And Canelo, coming from 168 to 175, did it. And he beat him, and he knocked him out, something that nobody's ever really done. Even with that controversial stoppage to Sergey Kovalev, he never really done it. Guys, I am not just saying this because I'm a Canelo fan. I am a big Canelo fan. But at the same time, I'm also defending it because it's not true. He is definitely not overrated. Where he can go and fight some easier opponents, he went and challenged for a light heavyweight championship bout against Bivol and lost and wants a rematch. He could say, you know what, I ain't going to go there no more. But no, he still wants that rematch. Is that like something to say, well, no, he's overrated? No. And the guys, people are saying that he's overrated. Why? Because he's not fighting the fighters that you want him to fight. David Benavidez. Name another guy he's beaten. He beat what? He beat, I think it was a David Lemieux and Anthony Durrell or something. That is it. The guy's never been on pay-per-view. That guy's never really beaten high-level champions. If this was a guy that had beaten a Caleb Plant, a Billy Joe Saunders, a Daniel Jacobs, even a Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., I mean, I do believe he would have got killed. Julio Cesar Chavez would have like completely just got dominated by David Benavidez, but nonetheless, it would have still been something. But unfortunately, no, he doesn't have these names on his record. He's relatively very, very unknown. Very unknown. You know, not saying Caleb Plant was a bigger name, but unfortunately, the reason why Canelo Alvarez fought these guys because he wanted to collect all belts. He wanted to be undisputed super middleweight king, which is you win in there against Billy Joe Saunders. He went in there against a Caleb Plant. You know, he went in there against all these other fighters so he can actually get the championship that he wanted to be undisputed. So to say that he's overrated, it's like, guys, come on, what are you talking about? There's still a lot of great fights. He still can fight David Benavidez. He still can fight your Charlos. He could still go down and possibly even fight one of these guys that might want to move up, like a Errol Spence or a Terrence Crawford. He is definitely nowhere near overrated. There's still a lot of fun, exciting fights. He's even this talks, which is I pray to the boxing gods, it never does happen, that he moves up to cruiserweight. Name another person that's doing this. Name it. Please help me. Show me what a fighter that's not overrated. Show me a fighter, give me that example. For those who are saying he is overrated, for those who are saying that maybe even that rematch, that Triple G Part 3 fight, the judges were going to give it to Canelo. Well, then why didn't they? I mean, why didn't they? They were going to try to screw over Triple G. Why didn't they? You know why? Because Triple G was not fighting. Triple G straight up came in there and did not want to fight. And he held on for a long period of time, and then he went in there around round 8, round 9, he decided to turn it on, and he maybe won 3, at most 4 rounds in that fight. So how were they going to screw over Triple G if Triple G didn't even want to fight in that fight? Are you going to say, well, if he would have fought and he would have got screwed over anyway? No, you don't know that. Is that possible? Sure, anything's possible, but you don't know that. You don't know that for sure, so you can't say something that you do not know for sure. We cannot predict the future. It's like saying, you know what, go in there to Canelo fight, and Canelo's not going to win 1 round, and they're just going to give him the decision. Unfortunately, it's not going to go that way. You can't. Maybe Canelo won't win at all, or maybe he won't win a round at all, but all of a sudden they're going to give him the round. That's basically what you're trying to say. That every Canelo fight he does, he's just going to get the decision no matter what. He almost got the decision against Bivol. I get it, very controversial. He got that decision against Triple G that first time. I get it, very controversial. But that's not on Canelo. That does not necessarily mean he's overrated. If the judges see it the way they see it, then hey, that's on them. Don't go down Canelo and tell him that he's overrated, that he is like that he doesn't deserve some of these things that he deserves. You know, he's doing everything he does. He's fought everybody. There's a small handful of fighters that he has not fought yet. And a lot of them is because they don't have that big name, that big star status just yet. Or they don't have a belt that he wants. I guarantee you, if David Benavidez actually had a belt, but he had to relinquish it. I can't remember the reason why, but if you look it up, you can see David Benavidez was actually a super middleweight champion. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I promise you, if he kept that belt when Canelo was going around, he would have got that shot against Canelo. Same thing with Charlo. You know, Canelo doesn't need to go to you guys. Canelo doesn't need to go to a Charlo, or doesn't need to go to a Benavidez or whoever else. He is the star. You want him, you go to him. You go do whatever you got to do to get him. You can't just say, oh, well, I want Canelo. Of course you do, because you want that payday. You want that big money fight, because that's what he is. He's a big star. He is a big payday. But show me a reason why you should. Like, who are you fighting? If Canelo says, hey, you ain't fighting nobody, well, then get in that ring and fight somebody. Call out Billy Joe Saunders. Call out Caleb Plant. Call out Triple G. Call out Daniel Jacobs. Call out anybody else in that division to show him that you are the next one in line, that you are the one that you should be fighting. Him. But until then, don't say for all those guys that are saying overrated, tell me why these guys ain't chasing after Canelo. He is the star. He is the one that's holding all the marbles. So go after him. Do whatever you got to do whatever you got to do to chase him. That does not make him overrated. That makes him the star. If you guys agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.